All right, man. Let's do it again, huh?
Let's do it. Run it back.
All right, let's set on a 2-0 heater right here.
Yeah.
You climb
Yeah.
all up on. All
I'll
right,
be sure.
man.
I'll be sure to paint it. You can sit on. I'll be sure to paint it.
Yeah, absolutely. See if you can't get a rollover. So, all right, let's get right to it, man. If you could, if you could choose one hitter to never face again, who would it be?
One
Which is a
hitter never.
tough question, I think, because if somebody like Trout, like, why wouldn't you want to try to go
Yeah.
up against him and try
Yeah. I
to
would.
get?
Right. Hopefully nobody's on, but I would love to face him again. you
Yeah,
know, just to try to get him out. You know, especially with what I said the previous video we did. You know, it's like if I had to do it again, I'd throw in fastballs up and in, and I wouldn't throw anything else other than a curveball down. And now that if I had a split, I would maybe throw one of those two, especially if I'm feeling good with that. But yeah, I mean, you're good. You want to get back out there, but if I mean, it's probably an easy answer, but it'd be David Ortiz, just because when I faced him last, or when I last faced him, I was up. It was my fourth game in the big leagues or third game, and I didn't have my curveball yet figured out because the baseballs were different going from AAA to the big leagues. The balls are different, and my curveball just wasn't turning over like it used to or like it should. So I was going up against David Ortiz with a 91, 92 mile an hour fastball, which is average fastball, and then a very average slider and basically a non-existent changeup. So I'm supposed to get him out. So that was pretty hard for me to do, and that I could probably
he
do
got
without
you
that.
for home, dude, didn't he? He got you for like a big time career home run or something on his
Yeah,
chase, or
number 497.
yeah.
Yeah, wasn't
Yeah,
500. That's all I want. I didn't want the 500.
yeah, that's right. Stay away from the big one.
Yeah, stay away from the big one.
All right, so David Ortiz, yeah, man, I hear you. Okay, Matty Hunzinger, he's got a great question here. Hardest aspects to overcome as you advance into higher levels.
So you can answer that in a couple different ways. So for me, when I went from
Let's go from college. Let's go college. Well, let's just go high school, college, and we'll try to be short with.
Yeah. So from high school to college, junior college being Alney, they're close to you guys. It was interesting. I was just lucky to be able to just play baseball. I was finally just being able to play baseball, so that in itself was a jump for me. Just being able to focus on baseball and just make the physical changes to my body. I could finally work out how I wanted to and hone in like I wanted to. I think the biggest thing was just the physical, especially the first two, like my only 2 years at Alney, like early in your college career. It's just getting your body used to playing baseball, like just strictly baseball, and just really honing in on what you're trying to do, and just basically going out there and playing. Just literally going out there and playing. You're trying to see if your stuff plays, or just trying to get better. Really, just give yourself a chance to maybe get drafted or go to a bigger school. All those things is, I think, the biggest thing. So basically, for me, it was college, just getting your body ready to give it my best effort to be successful, especially being a freshman and sophomore. I think that was like huge for me. And then
Making the jump, from college to professional rookie ball. First, short seasons, 8 ball. How are we going there?
Yeah, so that is literally just being able to throw strikes, and that sounds so just minor, but I remember one of my coaches told me when I first got into pro ball, like, yeah, we just gotta, you just gotta throw strikes. We gotta throw strikes, and I guess that was hard for people to do. For me, that was pretty. I shouldn't say easy, but it was. I just had a better understanding of that at an earlier level. Some of these, you got these Latin guys that are coming that are 16, 17 years old, and they throw 97 miles an hour, but they can't hit the broadside of a barn, and it's just crazy to me. But they just have a hard time doing it. So I went to rookie ball, and I could throw strikes, and I was basically if you can throw 2 pitches for strikes, I think you get out of there. And I did. I was able to go. I was in rookie ball for 2 weeks, and I went to short season where I finished the year. And it's essentially just, like I said, throwing strikes. If you can throw 2 pitches for strikes at the higher level, at that initial lower level of the professional baseball, you're gonna have some success. And then going from short season to low A, it then becomes it's very similar, but now it's just a longer season. So the longer season, can I continue to throw strikes? Can I mix speeds, change speeds, and just get through 142 games? I think that's the biggest part of that. Going from
get through 142 healthy.
142 healthy. That's the biggest thing. So I think that's your first kind of stretch of, okay, can my body handle this, or what do I need to do? How do I do this? What do I need to do to make sure I make it through 142 healthy? That's the biggest thing. And obviously the competitive juices will take over and you can get through that. And then going from low A to high A, I would say then it then becomes, that's when things kind of start to get a little more serious. You've done this for a full season now. Okay, now it's how do we attack hitters? There's a couple more guys in each lineup as you go up. And I think you may have said this, as you go up, there's basically several more guys sprinkled in that can do damage or have more of an idea at the plate. So at low A, there's maybe a guy or two. Low A, there's 2 to 4 guys. High A, get 3 or 4 guys, 5 or 6 guys, whatever. And the more you go up, you got in DoubleA, TripleA, you got guys like through the whole lineup that have got a pretty good idea what they're trying to do. There's not a lot of
put together professional at bats. They
Right.
compete each pitch versus give away. I think that's the biggest difference. As from rookie ball, low A, high A, and then once you get into DoubleA, you're starting to see professional hitters that go up with a plan. Would you agree to that? Yeah, no.
I would agree 100%. And the other element of this, I'm going from like high A to DoubleA, and I've always been told this, the guys kind of brainwash you. Yeah, they always say the hardest level or the toughest jump is from high A to DoubleA. And I think for me, that kind of like, that really played into me. I like bought into that, and it's not wrong, but it doesn't mean that you change what you're trying to do, what you've done to get there. So when I got there, my first game was in Springfield, Missouri, and I just remember I was just throwing. I was so nervous. My whole body was shaking on the mound, and but I was understanding, like I'm just a kid from Evansville. Like I just didn't think I was going to play college baseball, and I'm on a DoubleA field right now. Like, it's just crazy. And now I'm pitching. I'm supposed to get outs, and I couldn't even like feel my body. I'm just like out there throwing. And I had a rough go of it. I had a rough go of it for the final stretch of the year. And I think that just played on me. You get these people telling you that, and you just start to believe it. Like, oh, like, well, can I make it through that? Can I make the jump? If this is the biggest jump, like this is it for me. Like, this is. Because they say DoubleA pitchers can typically, or DoubleA players, they can play in the big leagues. A lot of guys say that. If you have success, you can play in the big leagues. So that was like this is my big league moment here. If I can pitch here, have some success, I can do this. I can do this. And that kind of played on it. And then it took an off season for me to just kind of like let that go and just trust what I know I can do from that spot.
And so now that jump, so, we can say, as far as DoubleA, you see guys that they've got big league tools. They've got what it takes to compete at the big league level, but you've still got some prospects. And then you get to TripleA, and now you get some big league guys that have bounced down to TripleA, and now you've got some more experienced hitters in TripleA, which is a whole different ball game. You got guys that are hungry. You've got seasoned veterans that are down there. Mm-hmm. That jump from DoubleA to TripleA, and then TripleA to the big leagues. What do you got on those?
Yeah, so DoubleA to TripleA, it was I learned from, and this is the whole thing. The whole thing of this is the minor leagues is you're essentially practicing. You're practicing to hopefully play at the big league level and to excel at the big league level. So the struggles that you deal with in minor league baseball are basically meant to help you cope at the big league level. That's really what, at the core of it, that's where you're supposed to recall some of these things that happen to you, so that in the big leagues you can have a faster adjustment period. So for me, that struggle in DoubleA, going from high A to DoubleA, I went to TripleA, and I was like, this is the same game. I'm not changing a thing. And I end up throwing my first TripleA game. I threw 8 1/3 no hit against Nevin's team, actually, in Round Rock, Texas. So that was just surreal. And again, it was just, I'm going to do what I've been doing. I finally had success at DoubleA that following year, and then I just took it to the next level there. But so nothing much changed. It's just more, like you said, more seasoned hitters. You got to have an idea of what you're wanting to do with each guy and what they do. What do these guys excel at based on your catcher, your manager, your pitching coach. All these guys have input. Yeah, these guys in the past have really, with 2 strikes, really just try to put the ball in play, or this guy at 3-0, he's going to swing. And so you just be aware, just more information of being aware of. And then, AAA to the big leagues, it's really just finding out what you're made of, and just putting, basically what I said, putting all that practice you did for the past 3 or 4 years and applying that to the game, and just trusting all of that stuff mixed with trusting your stuff and knowing that stuff will play. Awesome,
man. Well, that's a simple question with a whole lot of depth to it, man. And we can talk about it for forever. Yeah. But, we'll get on to the next one. Garrick Jones, he wants to know, what is your in-season lifting routine? In season.
So in season is in really, I'm in that right now. I'm trying to stay in that same mindset now. And it shifts. So in the off season, it's doing a lot heavy, more heavy weight, maybe less reps, trying to really build strength, really build a tolerance. And then once spring training season hits, things start to kind of taper down. So you're going to do maybe more reps with lighter weight, but you're still trying to, or sometimes maintaining that same weight that you did in the off season, but do even less reps than you did that during the off season. So you're trying to maintain that same strength, that same tolerance, but knowing that the rep scheme and the amount, maybe the number of lifts you do is gonna decrease. So in a 5-day routine, 5-day start, you could say in May, the first day after I pitch, I'm going to be doing legs, primarily legs, with some kind of distance running, whether it's poles or whatever, and then with some heavier or some arm care type stuff. But that's day 1, and then day 2 would be more of like an upper body. So I throw my bullpen on day 2. I go do my running. I'd like to run before I throw my bullpen to simulate some fatigue, almost like I'm in the 5th, 6th inning. Run my poles early, come in, prep my arm, go out, do my bullpen, 30, anywhere between 25 and 40 pitches, depending on what I'm trying to accomplish or what I'm trying to do. And then come in and do an upper body lift and finish with some arm care. And then day 3 would be almost like a plyo type day. It's some people do like a total body or like a total flush, or some really light body weight stuff, or some just plyometric stuff. A lot of jumps, a lot of skaters, broad jumps, box jumps, all that kind of stuff, and just trying to get some explosiveness going. And then day 4 would be almost like a hip series, just making sure my hips are working. I'm getting some good mobility and stuff in my lower half and upper half. And then 5th day is starting again. So.
How about position guys? I mean, obviously you're a pitcher, but, do you have like any kind of insight, or just a general, our position guys, are they getting a workout in every day, 3 days a week, 6 days a week?
Yeah. So I'm pretty sure if I had to guess, most position guys, what's that?
Everybody's different too, I understand, but just just general.
I would say in general, guys, I want to say they like to get 3 lifts in a week, especially during the season, because these guys are, if you're playing every day. It's been a long time since I've never had to do that. I say I haven't done it in a long time. I've never had to. But in high school, you're playing you're playing 4 games a week or something, or 3 games a week. You know, it's nothing crazy. So I've those guys are out there every single day for, you know, hopefully at 162. More than likely, it's probably like 145 or so games are out there, and so they're really fatiguing their body. So they just make sure they get in there. They basically just, hey, get a lift in 3 times a week. Make sure you're like, again, what I said, you're making sure your tolerance is up, your strength's up, and then kind of get in, get out, kind of lift, not trying to do too much, but just making sure you're getting in there.
Got it, man. Well, Jerad, hey, that'll wrap up. I think we might have made it through 3 questions. We've gotten through 6 down the list altogether. But we can sneak this one more in here. This one's going to be quick. This will be simple.
Okay.
Bunning wants to know, what's your favorite pitch to throw? What's your go-to pitch?
Yeah, it's got to be the curveball. It's been a really good pitch for me. Really good pitch for me. Just ever since 2014, I had a conversation with a guy named Mark Connors, and told me I need to throw it more. And I said, okay. It was about an hour conversation. He told me I need to throw it more. It's got a chance to be really good. And the more I threw it, the more successful I saw that it was against hitters. And I basically just taught myself, or just made myself believe that it actually was a good pitch. And from DoubleA, TripleA to the big leagues, it's been a really good pitch for me. So if I'm in a tight spot, more than likely, runners on base especially, there's a good chance I'm going to be going to that.
So when you've got to throw your best pitch, all right, we've got 3-2. We've got, hey, catcher comes out, hey, what do you want to throw here? And it's his best against your best. You're going with a breaking ball.
Think so. Yeah. The spot, the memory that comes to mind is I'm facing David Wright in 2016, and it was a 2-2 count. It was a 2-2 count, and Rupp, my catcher, comes out. My manager comes out. It was before he came to bat, and he was going to take me out. I think my manager was going to take me out. I said, I got him right here. I think it was bases juiced, or second and third or something like that, 2 outs. David Wright's up. I had some success with him that game prior to it, but he comes out, and I said, I got him. And then it gets to 2-2. Rupp comes out. It's kind of a long at bat. He comes out, and I said, he's like, what do you want to throw here? He said, we got heater away. And I said, no, I'm throwing a curveball. He goes, you sure? I said, yes, 100%. I said, I've thrown it enough. He's
got some conviction behind that. Nice.
Yeah. I said, no way. I said, he's laid off. He laid off it already once in the at bat, but I said, he's not going to lay off it. If it's 2-2, if I go 3-2, I'm throwing it again. I'm throwing it twice. I said, there's no way he's going to lay. I said, no way he's going to lay off it twice, because I had that much belief, that much conviction. It only took one, but I threw it right behind the plate, down below the zone. He swung over it for strike 3 on a 2-2 count. So that was just constantly just solidifying the belief, the trust, and all that stuff. There's just another example of how that happened. That's
awesome, man. Well, hey, this will wrap it up, brother. We'll catch up with you soon. We'll get some more questions asked, man. Appreciate the time, dude.
Yep, sounds good. Look forward to it.
See you, buddy.